Sana Esther, nisaidie tumkaribishe gavana wetu. Oh my goodness. Are we ready? All right. Karibu.
Asanteni. Mambo. You guys are doing well. My late father taught me, and he told me, don't try and speak to people when they're hungry, when they're eating, or they've just eaten. So I'll not bore you with a lot of words, but I will take the opportunity to remind you. As I was driving over here, I received a phone call. And when I received that phone call from a reputable organization asking me to be present on a certain date, and in part, when they sent me an email, they said, we're nominating you because of your input and the impact that you've had on the lives of people in Parliament. And then it dawned on me, and I said, you know, what defines us is not awards. What defines us is nothing else except what we are celebrating here today. And I remember individually and collectively, I have dealt, and I'm just going to talk about this year alone, I have dealt with a number of you. Mustafa and your colleagues will agree with me. We had a sit-in where we started discussing issues to do with how this economy needs to be opened. I remember when we started targeting the SMEs through the MasterCard Foundation and how the Shariff Nassir Foundation partnered with yourself, where hundreds of people were able to benefit, and today they're back on their feet. I recall when I sat with some of your members here, and I had to push motions in the National Assembly to ensure that we do not have discriminate laws and regulations governing the public transport sector, where why is it that the SGR can be able to carry people on full capacity while buses cannot? Why is it airlines can be able to ensure that they push passengers from one point to another while buses and matatus were not able to? And we did this to conclusion. Issues to do with night transport. When some of your own members, the bus owners, approached me, and I'm glad we were able to push through with it. I've had representatives here from the port. I know that Kenya Ports Authority is one of our donors today, and we want to thank you for that. But I think one of the major issues that I have been able to push as well is talking about nothing else, but we do not wish to see the Port of Mombasa being privatized to any entity, because the Port of Mombasa does belong to the people of Mombasa. And when we started this conversation, I recall, and I was just talking to my brother, Honorable Badi, that some people actually thought that this is a conversation based on nothing else except politics. And some actually went ahead and said that no, we should not be talking about the Port of Mombasa belonging to the people of Mombasa. I remember when we started this particular conversation, and I'm going to take you a bit further away from this year alone. There was a time when we started this conversation, I remember being told that you're talking about this because you want the port to belong to Hassan Ali Joho. But we stood our foot down. Now, other than that, I heard KIFWA being mentioned. In fact, one of the directors is the director of KIFWA. One of the latest issues that I've raised in the National Assembly and we will go to it up to conclusion, is the issue where KRA pins, and these are the details that we need to get into. Our celebration should not be based on staying afloat. Our celebration should be based on where we ought to be as the people of Mombasa. Mombasa did not grow out of anything else, but this is a logistical hub. When we have such laws that state that the KRA pin, if you have registered a company in Mombasa, then you can be able to collect your cargo here. But if you've registered your pin in Nairobi, go and collect your cargo in Nairobi. For no other reason, the buck stops with the SGR. We raise these matters when they try to come up with enforcing. And KPA is here. I'm sure they're trying right now and they're scratching their heads. They're saying, please don't go there. But we won that battle then. Then the battle was converted into KRA. And believe me, we will win that battle as well. Because this is nothing else except the survival of our people. And this is the reason why, as I was driving through, and when I received that call, what defines us is not awards. What defines us is the things that we do that remain etched in the lives of every one of us. Your character is not built on the small things. Your character is not built on the large things that you rarely do. Your character is built on the small things that you constantly do. And that is what has been able to define myself and the people of the great city of Mombasa. When we have been able to not only come up with ways, but means to ensure that we put Mombasa to be where it should deserve. I have been very, very close friends. As a matter of fact, I've not just been friends, I've been brothers with His Excellency Hassan Ali Joho. We've known each other way before politics. But I've held him to account. There are times when the National Assembly has been able to summon various departments, when my views were that Mamangina Drive and the Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach had to be opened, and eventually they were opened. But this is what defines us, who we are. And there's a reason why. Facts and figures don't lie. When you're talking about the gross county product of Mombasa, which stands at about 206 million. Now listen to these figures. At 206 million, manufacturing takes about 32 million, which is about 16%. Construction takes about 20,765,000, which is at about 10%. Another 10% is from the wholesale, retail trade, and those people who sell the spare parts. Then accommodation and food service, which is what many people associate Mombasa with, is at 4%. Storage and transport make up 47,422,000, and that is where KIFWA comes in. This is where all the other organizations come in. And when you kill one of that, when you kill in the biggest earner of Mombasa, when you deprive the biggest earner of Mombasa, when you try and bloodsuck the biggest earner of Mombasa, the replicable effect is truly large. So I am glad, I am honored to be here today. Mustafa, you have to promise me. I've been with you when I was not even a member of parliament. And I've been with you when I was a member of parliament. You've got to promise me that next year at a time like this, I will be here as your governor of the city of Mombasa. Because what defines us is not awards. What defines us is nothing else except what it is that we do for each other and with each other on a daily basis. Thank you very much and congratulations to each and every one of you. Everyone is a winner. Asanteni sana.